Hey everyone, my name is Robin Graves, and this is the World According to Graves. Get this light fixed. I'm working on getting a new lighting system. Uh, it will be. Let me get this straight. There we go. A little softer than normal. Anyway, Mike, Event Horizon. I love this movie, Haunted House in Space. Fan theory. There is a fan theory that this is the prequel to Warhammer 40,000, since the black hole it went into uh, twisted everything around. It could have went into the warp, or what they call chaos in Warhammer 40k. I love this movie. Awesome movie. I love it since it came out. Great, great movie. No jump scares. It's just really creepy sci-fi horror. I'm a nerd. I'll admit it. I'm a nerd. So let me get this going here. Diet Pepsi. Let me get this going here. I love that sound. Little sippage. Yeah. Put this over here where it's not going to hurt somebody. Burp. Anyway, I get my notes here. Look, guys, I said last week I was going to do this week on the voter fraud through mail, voting through mail. We're still going to do that, just not today. Something popped up today. Uh, I spoke to the Erzatz producer here for this, for this channel, Gonzor, Lord of Darkness. He doesn't want his real name said, and he brought up a subject, and I decided, you know what, this morning let's look into this. Let's see if this is worth talking about. And more things. The more I looked, the more history kept coming up. So let's talk about that. Uh, this is why I don't like Black Lives Matter. This is why I think they're a scam. Uh, every year there are about 6,000 black people killed by other black people. That's official stats. That's official. That is official from crime records taken from around the country. Now, I'm not even saying talking about Hispanics killing each other, because that's, for the amount of Hispanics that are here, it's still astronomical. It's the Hispanic crime rate, even against white people, is pretty bad. So we're not going to talk about that. But that's not really affecting our country as much as the black on black crime that the BLM and their supporters refuse to look into. They refuse to do anything about it. They won't even talk to me about it. They're more worried about one out of 800,000 police officers shooting a black person. Now, one white cop, one cop in general, out of 800,000 does anything accidental, out of negligence, or out of just hatred, and people riot. They tell me that, because I'm not a big fan of Islam, that I can't paint over an entire section of humanity with a broad brush. But something happens to the police officer and a black person. Kill all cops, kill all white people, defund the police, we don't need them. AOC running her dumbass mouth off about, we need to get all these cops out of our neighborhood, out of violent neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods won't be violent anymore. You voted her in, folks. I didn't. She's an idiot. She's a blithering idiot. But I want to know something. Where the media and outrage over black, where's that over black on black crime? Where are they making mention of this? They don't. They're not going to, because it doesn't fit the narrative they're trying to push for the Democrats that all white people are racist. All white people are racist sons of bitches who are just looking to kill black folks. While black people have the signs up saying kill all whites. I have been in in arguments with these people about these signs. And they're saying, well, no, they mean all white racists. No, it said nothing about racists on the signs. It said kill all white people. Me being white or classified as white by these assholes. How am I supposed to feel about this? I'm supposed to jump for joy? If I don't, I'm called a racist. I need to die. It's really funny how this happens. And the white SJWs agreeing with them, not realizing, not being smart enough to realize they're white. And these signs are saying kill all white people. But what do I know? I'm just some monkey with a microphone and a YouTube channel. That's what I've been called here recently. But let's keep going. Let's go on. Jacob Black, wow, was wanted for domestic violence. In fact, the police were showing up for a 911 call that his girlfriend made because he broke a protective order that was caused by domestic violence. Excuse me. He beat her up in front of her kids, in front of the children. Showed up breaking a protective order. She called 911. The police arrived. Jacob had a open warrant for his arrest to begin with. Now this guy has a long history of ultra violent crimes, attacking, assaulting police officers, assaulting people with guns, knives. He thought he was a badass as long as he was armed or fighting a woman. This was nothing new for him. He had a pretty long history. When they showed up, he had an outstanding warrant. The police actually body cam footage showed the police telling him to stop. He's under arrest. Jacob kept walking, kept going, wouldn't stop. They were telling him to get down on the ground. He's under arrest. He walked to his car, reached in. Now, what we saw and what the media is trying to show you is that he was shot 7 times in the back for no reason. Police body cam showed that he was reaching into his car and picked up a knife. He was told 4 times, according to police body cams, to put down the knife. He didn't. He was shot. He was killed. Now, what part of don't resist, you won't be shot do you people not understand? What part of you attack a cop, you get a history of attacking cops? What part of pull a weapon on a cop, you get shot, do people not understand? The media made it out where it was an innocent black man being shot. They never said anything about his history, never said anything about his outstanding warrant, or the fact he was in commission of a crime by breaking a protective order. And then broke the law by resisting arrest, then broke it further by taking a weapon out of his car. What part of breaking the law do people not fucking understand? Let me check my notes here. After the shooting, BLM supporters started burning down buildings and burnt down a black church. That's how much Black Lives Matter to BLM. Let's burn down a black church. Let's burn down black businesses to venerate a criminal and make him into a saint. It's gotten stupid. It's gotten very goddamn stupid. I'm sick of it. Let's burn Kenosha, Wisconsin to the ground over the police doing their job, trying to apprehend a violent criminal in the commission of a crime who resisted arrest and went to pull a weapon on a police officer. I guess you're just supposed to let criminals go. If they don't want to be arrested, let them go. They'll go to a friend's house and won't bother anybody. The law is the law. I don't care what you think. If you don't like what the law is, change it. Talk to your congressman. Talk to your representatives. Cops can't protect themselves. Well, too bad. You know what? You want to get rid of police, you're finding a reason to get rid of them. Doesn't work that way. Shall I go on here? You people turn this guy into a saint. He had a long criminal record of violent crimes, like I said. You know, he resisted arrest, everything. I'd change this light. It's getting bad. This was the same with George Floyd. George Floyd had the police called on him. He was under the influence of drugs, has been under the influence of drugs, was a violent criminal, had a history of violence. See, the police, they don't just go after somebody just to be going after them. They kind of know their history. When this person's name comes up, that they're going to go serve a warrant to, they know everything about him. George Floyd, they evidently knew about him too. His name had come up in a lot of places. He spent time in prison for breaking into and assaulting a pregnant woman, breaking into her home, assaulting her with a friend of his, looking for drugs. He had caused violent crimes before, and the police go to arrest him because he was acting suspicious. Turns out he's on drugs. Resists arrest. Does everything he can to resist arrest. He died during the arrest. People are saying it's because the police suffocated him. No, that's not what the autopsy said. Two different autopsies. One by the state and one by people that his family chose. All said the same thing. His heart stopped beating because he was on massive amounts of drugs, and the arrest was causing stress on his system, which caused cardiac arrest. Nobody strangled him. But you guys wanted to go and burn and loot and attack people and call white people names and talk about killing Whitey, all because a criminal resisted arrest during the commission of a crime. And yes, that was a crime. The drugs he was on were criminal drugs. And he was in the driver's seat of his vehicle, evidently about to drive and commit more crimes by driving while under the influence. The law is the law. Get used to it. You don't like it? Fucking leave the country. Excuse me, I need a little sippage here. I'm a little wound up right now. Jeez. Let me go on. I mean, you guys, right, have looted. You burned black-owned businesses. Burned black churches then, too. I know. I saw it here in Atlanta. Now, I was told during the riots, in the Atlanta riots, that all the black businesses that were burned, all the businesses that were burned, that white people did that. White people did that. No, they did. There were black people there, too. They were involved in this. They did it. They went and looted everything. I mean, there's a video of them breaking into stores and stealing shoes, TVs, everything. But I also was argued with because if it wasn't for white people, they wouldn't be doing that. You're an idiot. You're an idiot for saying that. Racist. Now, I'm going to talk about the shooting in Atlanta. The one that happened at a Wendy's. He was driving drunk, of course, and pulled into a business and passed out in his car. The business called the police to investigate this. They didn't know what was going on. The guy could have been injured. He could have been any number of things. You know, the police got there. They found out. They found out what was going on. He was drunk and passed out. He had been driving while drunk, risking people's lives, innocent people's lives. Yes, even black people. They tried to. They got him up. They tried to arrest him. He resisted, beat the shit out of both cops, and then pulled a taser. Let me explain something about this taser. The same idiot pet DA who wanted to prosecute the police officers for murder is the same one that said that a taser is a deadly weapon. The guy took the taser from the cop, pulled it on him, was going to shoot him. The other cop protected his partner, shot the perpetrator. Well within the law. Very much part of police procedure. You pull a gun on a cop, you're dead. The cop is allowed to protect himself with deadly force. You pull a gun on me in Georgia, I am allowed to shoot you dead. It's the law here. You don't like it? Don't live here. Don't live here at all. Quit committing crimes. It's like that. It's that simple. And they shot him. I was hearing all these people talking about, well, they should have let him go. He would have went to a friend's house and slept it off. How? Drove? Drunk? He broke the law. He broke the law by driving drunk and passing out in a business's parking lot. The police were just going to get him for public drunk. That's all they were going to do. He escalated it to assault, assaulting police officers, then attempted murder of a police officer. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom's pet DA was so screwed up with the way he did this. He turned it into a the whole thing into a giant political ad for himself. Yeah, I'm anti-cop. I want white people. I'm anti-white. I want the black vote. That's all it was. That is all it was. Jesus Christ. This whole thing has gotten stupider and stupider. Then all of a sudden, because of the shooting, let's burn down the Wendy's. Let's riot. Let's go out and take over that part of the highway. Let's make people turn around and go away because you now own the highway. It's one stupid act after another. Then, during the rioting that went on, right afterwards, some African Americans opened fire on the crowd and hit a white woman in the leg. Nobody said anything about that very much, did they? Nobody wanted to mention about it because she was white. Then the next day or so, an 8-year-old girl was shot and killed in a car by these same people. When the person come forward and admitted to it, his attorney, what a joke, said on TV, "My client didn't shoot her. My client was only out there with a gun. He didn't shoot the gun. Other people shot the gun." What's he doing out there with a gun? What's he doing out there brandishing a firearm? If a white person did it, oh my God, it's all Trump's fault. If he does it, he didn't do it. It's nobody's fault. Nobody shot anybody. You didn't see anything. This rioting and burning everything has gotten stupid, people. The whole thing is, you want a conversation, but you're wanting to burn and loot and intimidate and threaten to kill white people. But you want to have a conversation about things, about racism, but you want to kill white people. You want to burn their businesses. You want to burn everybody's businesses. You want to burn black people's businesses. You want to burn black churches. You want to kill cops. You want to kill pedestrians. You want to kill people who are just standing by. You want to attack old people. But you want to have a conversation. Burning and rioting is not is not leaving anything open for a conversation. In fact, that's making other people dislike you more and more. Now, this whole thing about there in Kenosha, about the reporter standing there in front of the fire of a black church, a burning black church, saying, "Oh, it's mostly peaceful, just a little bit of fire." Yeah, peaceful, like a fucking war zone. You got Nadler, Mr. Fat Ass himself, running around saying, "Oh, the rioting, that's just a myth. That's not really happening." Yeah. People, the stupid has got to end. It's got to stop. Now, it just seems that if someone is a criminal, gets in the act of resisting arrest and gets shot, has a warrant for their arrest, pulls a weapon on a cop, gets shot, BLM wants to venerate them as a saint. And you people follow right fucking along. These people were shot. The criminals that were shot were in commission of a crime. One was attempting to kill another cop. The other one was willing to pull a knife on a cop, and he had a monster history. But see, you guys don't want to hear about his history. You want to hear about what he did yesterday. You don't want to hear about what he did throughout his life. You're just worried about yesterday. You don't give a rat's ass about these people's criminal backgrounds, and you turn around and you venerate them. And his son George Floyd has multiple funerals, and people talk about how wonderful of a human being he was. How about the people he hurt? You talk about how the cops are violating these people's rights. What the rights the rights of the people these criminals violated. No, you don't talk about that. Cops defend themselves. All of a sudden, we got to kill all white people. Get rid of all cops. but you'll be the first ones to call the police if somebody takes on one of your BLM little banners and takes a shit on it. Have it down the street. So, you guys are hypocrites. You're hypocrites. You want to get rid of racial violence, but you want to put up signs saying kill all white people. Then try to tell me, blow up my ass, telling me that it means kill all racists, but it says kill all white people, and you people agree with it. So you're saying all white people are racist, all white people need to die. Isn't that pretty racist of you? Now, Kyle Rittenhouse, I had a long thought, think very long and hard about this. There's a lot of people out there that are talking about this guy, both positive and negative. And one of the things that I saw was that Kyle Rittenhouse shot a guy for just throwing groceries at him, a bag of groceries at him. No, that was a gun. He didn't throw. He had a gun in his hand shooting at Kyle Rittenhouse. Video proved that. I don't know who's telling you that. Oh, he just threw a bag of groceries at him. No, that's not what happened. The 17-year-old shooter at Kenosha, Wisconsin. It started allegedly. I've heard several stories about this part. This was not on video. There is no video of this, but there are several stories about this. It started allegedly when he shot one person in the head and a boarded up business. They fired on, then he turned around and fired on protesters in the street as they tried to subdue him. Didn't really look too much like subdual. It looked like they were attacking him. In fact, one of the person actually shot at him admitted that this guy started shooting at Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, one of the people who got killed was a child molester who was ordered not to be around minors, period. Which, this may be a little dark for some of you, and maybe a little too soon, but seems to me that the child molester finally had somebody stick one in him. I think that's really funny. Now, you protect child molesters all you want to. A lot of people want to vote for Biden, who's a sexual predator against children anyway. Sexual predator, period. He's into pedophilia. Don't tell me he's not. There's videos of it. There's videos of him groping kids, sniffing their hair, and the kid looking very, very uncomfortable being around Biden. So I don't see now. I see where you're trying to defend the pedophile that got shot. You're voting for a pedophile. Yeah, prove to me otherwise. You can't. You're not going to change my mind. Now, let's go on with this guy here. He was taken into custody of his home in Antioch, Illinois the next morning. I'm hearing all this stuff. Well, he got away. The police didn't get him. They didn't arrest him. The police are racist because he's a right-wing mass murderer. He's a right-wing shooter. Trump did it. Well, I got news for you. He was arrested. And he's being charged for first-degree murder, among other things. This is actually coming from law enforcement, some sources I have in law enforcement. Yes, I know cops, and I get along with them very well. A lot of the people they're talking about it as there are people talking about it that says it was purely self-defense. I don't think it was purely self-defense. I believe it was to a point, but I believe that there were other things mitigating all of it. The person he shot, first person he shot in the head, the person, and he was the guy in a boarded up building, was the first crime. If he did it, that's alleged. It's still being under investigation. The whole thing's being investigated. A lot of you guys are running around making snap judgments and jumping to conclusions before any proof really comes out. You said, well, I don't need that much proof. I know what I saw. You weren't there. You didn't see shit. You don't know what happened before or after. I'm just telling you what was on video and what was admitted by people there, which not many of you have even heard. You don't even worry about that. You just have your little snap judgment and biased opinion, and that's what you go with. You don't care about proof or evidence of anything. What you're thinking is good enough. You narrow-minded, whatever you are. I want to talk about there are some things that went on. I remember I was watching the video after he opened fire, and several people were shot on the street. Several were, I believe, three or four. Uh, then he just walks right through the police. So they're showing up. All they know is there's a gun battle going on, and he walks past with his AR-15. They didn't even pay attention to him. They were paying attention to the scene in front of them, and he left the scene. There are several uh, laws that Kyle Rittenhouse broke. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to talk about him because he's a minor. He's 17. I do believe he had good intentions to begin with and got carried away and wasn't thinking. And that is his downfall, not thinking. First off, the first crime was one, a minor in possession of a firearm. You need to be 18 to possess. To possess, that means have in your possession, not just to own, but to have in your possession. Two, brandishing said firearm. He's brandishing it. He's out in the open, pointing it at people. C3, crossing the state line illegally, possessing a firearm. It is illegal to cross the state line with a firearm into Wisconsin from Illinois. It is illegal, and he did that. I want to understand his mother drove him there. There was like 15 miles. His mother drove him there. His mother is complicit in this. His mother can be charged as an accessory to all of this. For murder, if he did shoot that person in the head, there was in the boarded up building. There was no video of that. It's just what people have said. That's being investigated. The people he killed on the street, we don't know yet if that's murder, if that's to be considered murder or what. But it was self-defense. But it was done with a firearm that he had on him illegally. So that's a little up to the DA. I understand the DA is going to be very rough. The police are very disappointed in this. They're very upset with the kid and everything. The least they're going to get him for is assault. That's the least he can be charged with. Fleeing across state lines after he walked past the police. His mother took him back across state lines. She could be in trouble for that. He just committed another federal offense. And leaving the scene of the crime. If you're in a shooting, you don't just up and walk away. I don't care whether you know you're an idiot if you do. So he actually committed, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crimes right now that I'm aware of. I don't know what all they're going to get him on. I'm not for sure. They could probably get him just on murder and get him life in prison if he did commit the murder. But that's yet to be seen. It's yet to be investigated. That's still all under investigation. It's all being looked into. So until this has been sorted out and looked into, quit giving your uneducated opinions. Okay? Do some research into this. Don't just watch ABC or CBS News. Watch the unbiased shit online. CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, and the other one, Fox News. They're all pretty biased. They're all house organs for one party or the other. And I don't really watch news like that. I don't want to sit here and hear just one half. I want to know the whole thing. Because you hear only one half, you only know half of what's going on, you don't know the whole situation, and it makes you look like an ass. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to let you go. I've been on here, oh my God, this is 29 minutes in about 5 seconds from now. I still got to call somebody. I have an interview tomorrow on a podcast with Stranglehold Entertainment. And I have kind of an announcement to make. I have been cast in a horror movie by Southeast Productions. Then there's talk of another movie also by another company. This is a big thing for me. Keep your fingers crossed. I have been officially cast into a movie called Revenge. I can't give you much more information on it as of yet. Well, we'll keep you guys updated on that. So, anyway, you guys take care of each other. And remember, talk hard. And don't be afraid to think. Thinking is still a free thing to do. Talk to you guys later. See you next time. I'm Robin Graves. This has been The World According to Graves. See ya.